It's like giving a speech in front of like your peers. It's like horrifying. At least with like voice acting, they give us a script and we're in a box.
Yeah, you're in a box.
Yeah. And nobody, you can pretend no one's watching you. Most of the time they aren't. They're just like concerned about what you sound like.
It's a bubble.
It's a bubble. But when you're there, you're like, oh, I'm suddenly aware that I'm a human being. And there's other human beings staring at me and they're like, be funny. And I'm like, I don't know what funny is. I have to have funny written for me.
Freak out and be alright.
What?
Freak out and be alright.
There we go.
That's what I should have done to open these areas. I should have gone up there and been like, hi. No, I know they didn't get up here. That would have been better. Well, now I know. Okay, cool. But yeah, this is
That's my next one.
We should just do that together.
Yeah, at the same
My
time.
name is Brice Pepenbrook. No! Oh, God! That's what we have to do. What's the next convention we're going to be together? I think it's next year.
There's a bunch. It's cool hanging out with you.
So, yeah, if you guys have questions for us, yeah, we might as well open it up. Sort out online or whatever. Whatever. Right here.
Alright, I don't really have so much question as I have a question from Cherami.
Okay.
Cool. My apologies again. Did this D-Sox voice, can you say the word rule and roll your arm and say it?
Yeah, sure. Did you say rules? It doesn't have to be a line?
Yeah.
Okay. Rules. I actually only got that. One time.
Which character is it?
Nisox. She's it's in the show Panty and Stocking with Garter Belts. It's a very colorful show. Seriously, it's really bright and colorful. Okay, cool. I was just like, what is on fire?
We were just at a con that had a fire emergency.
Yes.
And they had to evacuate everyone in the hotel. That was-
Do spray painting in the hotel?
Yes, don't spray
do
paint
that.
stuff in your hotel room. It's not good.
Okay, I did it. Look at what John just texted me. I told him Dante was going to be here. My fiance, I texted him and I said, Dante's going to be here. And he played Rufio in Hook. My fiance just texted, Rufio! So good. But yeah, no, that show is very colorful. Both in the colors, kind of like, it's very colorful like Invaders and they're all very bright colors.
Oh, yeah.
And so I said, it's like Invaders and Powerpuff Girls. And I looked at the pictures and then I like, there's like so much language.
Oh, yeah?
My character is the only one who doesn't cuss in the show, and she uses K-to-mess words, like
Nice.
very, very eloquent words. But yeah, their weapons are like there's panty and stockings, so their weapons are their panties and their stockings.
I like where this is going.
And then my character is Nisox, so she's like stockings, like counterpart, the Anarchy Sisters and the Demon Sisters. And they're angels fallen from heaven. I'm one of the demons, so red. Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
I look like an angry unicorn. Yeah, so I don't cuss, but my stockings are my weapons, and they turn into like dominatrixes when they transform.
Nice, I love that.
Yeah, that's always. But I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that show. I've seen that show. It's really funny, and it's really funny. Everybody's really cool in that show.
Awesome.
All right.
Next question.
Kind of for both of you, say the MMORPG actually exists. You guys are gonna like participate in something like SAO. You can't be Kirito and you can't be Asuna.
Okay.
So of the characters you played, who would you want to be?
So wait, we're gonna take one of our characters into the game,
Yeah.
or we're gonna pick another
One of the
character?
characters that you voiced.
What are the characters that you voiced?
But it can't be.
You're not Asuna and you're not Kirito.
Okay.
Use asphalt!
Yeah, that would be good. Do they have the same powers that they kind of
They
have?
had in the show.
That they have in the show?
Takes the dawn.
I have a lot of choices.
Set things on fire.
Yeah, if I have rain, I can just set things on fire. No one
Yeah,
will
that's
come near me.
convenient.
They would just burn.
On your
But
would be awesome because, I mean, yeah, he's a monkey. He's got 2 blades, dual wielding.
A monkey with 2 blades?
You can't mess with him. Okay.
That's
And then,
awesome.
as Belmont, I mean, he's a baller. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those 3. One of those 3.
I think I probably just pick somebody. The first person that came to mind was Gage in Borderlands because I mean, like, she's a nut. Like, I feel like she would either probably be really reckless, and that would either pay off or that would be horrible. Kind of like how you play her in the game. It either works really well for you or it doesn't. But she'll be like loud and obnoxious and quirky funny about it. So that'd be cool. Yeah, it was brilliant writing by Anthony. So funny.
I was hoping you were going to say Sean.
Oh, see, Shauna would be really cool too.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Dang it. The other redhead with the sword, which I tend to play a lot. Apparently, I'm typecast. Apparently, I have a sword. I just don't have red hair. Does it sounds like
Hi.
Hello. Nice trying to comment.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. I haven't heard that one.
I know. I thought it was going to be we were going to be in one of those games. Would we do it, and how would we respond?
Yeah.
You can answer that though.
Fail miserably.
Yeah, I would charge and be killed right away.
I would actually probably like hang back for a little bit and like try to train and like get some. Yeah, like do the little mini games. I always love those. They're pressure free. It's a good time. You win, cool. If you don't, you just do it again. But yeah, no, I probably would not be very good in a battle. I don't know. Maybe I would.
I would die right away. Leroy Jenkins! That'd be me. All right. Right there.
Okay, I have a question for each of you. Brice, because I know you were a Henry in Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yes.
Did you ever actually play? And who'd you marry Henry to if you did?
I haven't played that yet. I don't have a DS. I really need to get one because more and more titles that I've been working on. No, that's Tales of Graces where I have a love affair with Richard. I keep getting questions about Graces, like, can you confess your love to Richard?
And I'm always here for that. So try to play these characters.
No, this is the one. He's a character that's just sort of addicted to blood. Yay!
Oh, blood! Okay.
Yeah,
He's the best person to make a husband. It's like the best conversations ever.
yeah. I've seen some of the the gameplay and some of the lines. Yeah, awesome. But I really need to play that.
For Cherami, what is the first prank that has been pulled on you? Because I know you come from the land of pranks.
I'm pranked often. I think probably one of the most memorable pranks involved a mannequin named Manny. That he's a mannequin that they have dressed up in all of this blood gore. He looks like he is in the throes of apocalyptic land, and he has this Hannibal Lecter mask. He's a horrifying dude. But he was they put him in the back corner of my booth, so when I walked in, he would just be in the shadows. And so when I'm recording, I would just be having this man watch me, which is really unsettling. I don't like that. But I walked in, and my director and my engineer weren't there because I was early. So I walked in and I turned on the lights, and I never turned my back to that back corner. So I just shut the door and I sat up front, and I was hanging out. And then the engineer, who's this very very tall man, Justin Houston, he walked in and he was and I said, "Are you okay?" He goes, "I just had yeah." Because they were all in on it, but they forgot. They did it the night before, so he had set up. It was they'd been planning this.
Who was the ringleader?
I don't know who was in essence the ringleader. I think it was like the group of them. It's Brina Palencia's brother who owns this mannequin.
Oh,
Gina
this explains
Palencia.
everything.
Yeah. But I don't know if Brina knew about it because I told her about it later. She was like, "Oh, Manny! Oh, that's hilarious! That's a great idea." Yeah. But it was his mannequin, and so I think like all of the directors of all the studios were in on it, and they were like, "Well, we want to do this. Who do we think would be the easiest target that will respond, that will like freak out the most?" And then I was, well, it backfires on them. I was like, "Oh, okay." So the director, Chris Casing, comes in, and he often calls me Baby Cherami because another prank involved. I've been acting since I was 5. Another prank involved finding a headshot of me as a child and sending that around the office. So whenever I went in to record, I'm greeted by a little munchkin image of myself. And then they would like minimize it, and every time the tape didn't work, they're like, "Baby Cherami, it was sad, that didn't work." And like bring it out. It's like, thanks guys. So Chris Casing calls me Baby Cherami, so he walks in and I opened the door to go into the booth, and he could see Manny in the corner, and he forgot it was there, so he was like, "Baby Cherami, there's someone behind you!" And I turned around, and I like didn't know, it scared me, but I was like shocked by it, so I didn't know how to respond, and so I guess like my fight or flight response, God, that's hard for me to say this early in the morning, and it's not early, that kicked in, but I have a weird response to things like that, in that I said, "Oh, I love you," and went to hug it. So I don't know why that worked. So I hugged the mannequin, and everybody was like, suddenly like all the directors come and like, "Did you see it yet? Did you see it?" And Kaysen and the other directors, they were all like filing in. Dennis was there, and Mike was there, and Tyler was there, and Zach was there, and Joel was there. And they're like, what happened? Did she scream? Did she scream? And they were like, "She hugged it." And everybody goes, "God, Cherami." Jeez. I was like, "Wow, I'm sorry. You wanted to terrify me. Your plan was foiled, and now I'm the bad guy? Let's talk this through, kids." And so, like, but I started thinking about it as I was recording, and it bothered me the whole day. I was like, so if I'm ever in a situation of like a serious traumatic thing, somebody's holding a knife, like my response is gonna be like, "Oh, this person just needs love, and everything will be better."
You won't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. This dog.
I'm out. I can't do this.
What is wrong with this girl? But I told my mom, I was like, "So mom, I'm disturbed that this was my response." And she was like, "Well, your grandmother said that when you were like 18 months old and we were like walking through the store around Halloween, she took this like hideous wolf mask and put it on her face. And they just thought I like, I don't know, maybe be funny. And so I was just like, "I love you." And I was like crying. My brother was like, "Oh honey, it's okay, it's okay." So apparently that's just like my response.
You
to things like
associate
that.
scary stuff with grandma?
Yeah. I love you.
That's awesome.
But like she said, and everybody said, yeah, every time you see something scary, like in a haunted house, you like, and I hate it. Like I just get so stressed out, but apparently I just like, I feel like if I hugged them, it might be better. I don't know.
They won't kill me if I hug them.
Yes, they won't hurt me if I just tell them I love them, right?
You should try that one of the boss fights in SAO.
Dang it!
That
Yeah.
didn't work out too well.
Like, and like, what would be great if he like lays down his sword and he's like, when I was a kid, I just like had all these like issues and my mom never told me that she loved me, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm
What's wrong with you?
Pretty awesome. So yeah, that's probably the best prank, just because it backfired on them.
So if I ever make it to Funimation, I gotta prank some people.
Yeah. All right.
Nice, and then start pranking.
Yeah. You're good, right?
Savage.
Savage is the king, and I'm like at a New Year's party. Brina's husband Paul Lingo and Chris Sabat together. With Brina, it's like a horrible combination. Like you won't make it out of that prank alive. Yeah, well, Ian told me they were at a convention one time. Ian got locked out of his own hotel room, and they were like emailing people through his computer, and like, I mean, it's like it's serious business. So I'm always like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't know. I guess I'm too easy of a target. They don't care. So like, she's just gonna say she loves people and hug them. It's so boring. That's fine.
Takes the crosshairs off you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, okay. All the characters you either voice acted or played on live TV and whatnot. What's your most favorite and or compelling character you guys played? For each of you.
It's a good question, but I cannot choose.
On opposite then, is there anybody you've ever had a really hard time melding into? You felt like was like the complete opposite to you?
Usually the ones that are like totally different from me, I get so excited about because normally people don't think that I can play them because they're so different from me that when I get cast and I get to do it, I'm like, yes, I'm like psyched to do it because it's something that I've generally probably always wanted to do to prove to people that I can do it. I have a very underdog mentality towards things. So I don't think, like the ones that are just like me, I'm like, well, we'd be best friends. And the ones that are totally different from me, I'm like, this is the only time that I'll ever get to be a badass.
So, like, for one of your characters, if they scare you, say, I love you, you beat the living crap out of them. So that.
Yeah, if there's a character that was like, that would be an awesome, like, villain. It's like a little doll. It's like, I love you, and then kills people. I'd probably be like, this is meant for me.
Yeah, there you go. Just wait.
Yeah, like people just be like, what is wrong with that? And then that's when I attack.
I'm kind of the same. I just find something I have similar with the character, or I kind of make something up in my head that I have similar to the character, so I always find a way to become that sort of character. So, I don't know, it's always tough when I get that one, like, which is the most challenging. They're all challenging in a different way, but I always find something to relate to them and kind of get me to that point, and then it's just fun. All right, I don't know, who is next?
We'll go here first. All right, actually two things. For both of you, what is the most memorable blooper you've had in the booth?
No, because it's just like every day. There's about 20. So I can't even remember them all. I don't.
It's so hard to like describe like bloopers because unless you're like there and kind of watching it, they're just not as funny unless you're there in that moment.
They're super inside jokes. Like
when you see the blooper reels put together, like I hope they release some of my bloopers from SAO.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of bloopers in SAO.
Yeah.
They released some of the Blue Exorcist ones.
Oh god.
Oh, did you see those?
No, I've seen the new Rara one.
The
Those things are like the stuff of legends just because of the stuff with Yuri Lowenthal and oh god.
Yeah.
Kristen Freeman.
Yeah.
Like the running gag between the two of them. Like,
I know they were having like I've heard Steve Bloom is just amazing.
It's like, oh my god, I wish I knew what I was reading.
I know Yuri and Crispin like try to top each other. They were like going back and forth with those bloopers.
I don't know. They happen every day.
Yeah, there's bloopers
Most
every
of them
time.
are like stupid inside jokes. Like when I worked on Blue Exorcist, I was just there for a day, and obviously, you know, the Satan references are gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, cue up, Chelsea. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Everybody's funny. But yeah, Alex made that his like text message alert. He's just been saying Satan. So every time he gets a text message, that shows up.
I had a good one with Blue Exorcist. There's one part where Rin is calling Yukio, and I'm like, because Yukio's played by Johnny and Bosch, so I'm like, get that Power Ranger on the phone! That was one of my favorite ones.
And then this one's for you, Brice. This isn't really a question, but a little comment. I like on your website how up in the corner it says Brice and your health bar.
Yes, you noticed that.
Oh, that's amazing!
I was like, I get that.
I'm also, not yet, I'm also a web designer. So I'm starting to redo my website, and I really want to make it like SAOS. So yeah, it'll get more improvements soon. right, we'll work our way this way and then come back.
Okay.
All right.
For both of you guys, have you guys always wanted to get into acting? Is that like just what you want to do, or is there anything else?
That's kind of it. Like I was doing like laundry detergent commercials in the bathtub as like a toddler, which is really awkward. And I told my mom, I told my mom I wanted to be on Barney as a kid, and that was like my goal. And I was never on Barney. That's okay. I've gotten to do some other fun things. Yeah, acting is kind of it. And there's been times where I'm like, this business is really hard. I wonder if I should get out. And then I think to myself, well, what else would you love doing? Would you be fulfilled and love your life? And I mean, I would enjoy the people that I was with and my family and all of that, but I would never feel like I was doing a job that I was so excited about every day. So no, it's kind of it. Somewhere in this business, I would have to be involved in some capacity. If not acting, then writing or being an agent or working in any as a producer or something like that. But I wouldn't be able to just not be an actor anymore.
My path was a little different. I grew up around voice acting. Both my parents were voice actors. My dad did a ton of work. He was on Power Rangers, and if you look him up, I mean, he was on all sorts of titles. Guy J, he is Jay. Yeah, I can't even remember all the titles that he did because he would just go to work all the time, every day, and then come back like it was just a normal 9 to 5. So I'm still finding titles that he did. Wow. That like I hear his voice, I'm like, oh my god, that's my dad. That's insane. So I kind of grew up around it. I didn't know I wanted to be a voice actor right from the beginning. Actually, I was really into martial arts, and I thought I was going to be a professional fighter. I still teach and train in Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, and I thought I was going to be a fighter, and then I got accepted to UCLA, and I'm like, well, I should probably go to UCLA, and then I thought I was going to be a lawyer, and then I found myself back in the booth and started getting hired more and more, and I'm like, I like making voices more than sitting in the law library. I'm going to do this. And I've always sort of been around it and have been a voice actor since I was about 8 years old. But just recently, it's been like, this is what I want to do, and this is what I love to do. Yeah. All right.
So, back on an earlier question, you said you like to find something to connect with the characters. What did you find to connect with Zidane?
So I liked how the way he kind of jokes with girls and talks to girls. Like I guess I'm kind of like that too, just like a little teasy and little jabs at them. So I mean that's kind of where I connected with him.
Kindergarten play yard.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. That's me. So.
I'm exactly the same way too.
And that was a dream job, by the way, because I grew up playing Final Fantasy. Awesome. So I didn't know I was working on Final Fantasy right when I started the job because they always use code names for the games. But when I found out and I saw that, I was just like, this is incredible. Like I'm a part of something I grew up playing. Like it's amazing. So yeah, great character, and yeah, that's where we hit it off. All right, back this way.
Are you guys going to get to do any kind of like commentary or like interview reel on the SAO Blu-rays?
We did do interviews.
Yeah, there was a short interview. I think it's coming on the next Blu-ray.
And I did like kind of a comedy blooper thing. They wanted to see like images of us working in the booth. And I'm super sarcastic and I like to be weird. So
You're at a convention.
yeah, so I started. I don't know if they're gonna put this on the actual DVD, but there's one of me arguing with Brice's already recorded voice.
Oh, that's great. I do that all the time. I yell at you when I'm in the booth.
I guess this is because I do that all the time too. Like there was one where it's the scene. It's very early on, but Asuna finds him taking a nap, and she tells him to in essence grow up and get back in it. So he cuts her off, But when we were working on this, I was like, guys, can I because it's supposed to be like us behind the mic working. I was like, can I make this like I'm like a crazy diva? Because I never used to do that because it's not okay. But like if we're just playing around, like, can I do that? And they're like, oh, okay. So we started recording it, and he's supposed to cut me off, and so I was like, Brice, seriously, I am an actor. You are an actor. Please respect me and let me say my line. Seriously, I can't even deal with him right now. I just cannot deal with him right now. Brice, I can't look at you. Don't stop talking, Brice. Stop talking. Brice! I asked you to just listen to me. And you know what? I can't deal with him. I can't. And then I started crying. So I was like, but I would argue with you anyway. Like when you I was like, wow, that was hurtful. This is really hurtful. Wow. Way to keep it together.
I'll go long on a line, and then you'll start the next line, and I'll go, oh, I guess I'm not going to finish that. Well, okay, finish it. I mean, I won't finish my line. You go ahead.
Clearly what I was going to say isn't important enough for you, so you just take it from here. No, and then when you say, I would like to say when there was a couple times where we'd run long on a line, and then Brice would come in and cut me off, and later on he's like, wait, what? I'd be like, yeah, maybe if you listened, this would serve you better next time. So let's try listening next time. Okay, guys, thanks. I wish they released those.
I know.
Apparently, just not even context, just us arguing with each other with no reference.
Piece together and argue between us when we go long on takes. That would be great.
That would be awesome. So apparently those are bloopers that we do all the time. We just didn't notice. So yeah.
I hope this stuff makes the Blu-ray. We have no idea. We're the last ones to know anything.
I did one serious one, and so I guess. But I was nervous that people are like, if they release this crazy one, everybody's gonna think I'm so mean. I'm so crazy. So I don't know. I did one nice and then one where I yelled at Brice and I cried.
I have a funny one, which was Alex's ringtone for a while. It's an internet meme also. I did a for
awesome.
as he's attacking.
And
it fit perfectly. One of his epic screams.
That's awesome. Well, there's a couple things in the more adult scenes with Austin and Keith. It's awkward. And so when we're recording it, it's more awkward because either there's no one recorded or there is someone recorded, but most of the time there's no one recorded. The only thing you can do to lighten the mood is just play it up. So there were a lot of bloopers in those scenes because it was just this is so uncomfortable.
I'm sure a lot of mine are too dirty to make.
No, there was the one where they make the Ragged Rabbit, and then Asuna misreads signals and whatever, which is that's every girl's nightmare. But I'm watching that, and I think you recorded one where you're whoa, hey, I didn't want to see that. That's so they put that one in there, and I was so sad for Asuna. That's so awkward. But yeah, we do things like that.
I think that airs this Saturday, actually.
Oh, the Ragged Rabbit scene?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Awesome.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That is a good one.
And now we will remember what you guys said here.
Yeah, and I don't know.
The scene she's talking about is the office.
So,
I'll be expecting that.
I don't remember how that scene. If that how that episode is.
Yeah, that one right here.
You'll have to watch tomorrow.
What time does it air here? 2 a.m. But that's actually
11 for us.
11
so
for
it's
us. That's
early.
later.
Yeah.
Do you guys keep up with it, just out of curiosity? As it comes out, even though you've already probably seen the scene a million times?
Yeah, I mean, I try to. We try to live tweet whenever we can, especially when we're at a convention together.
Yeah.
So we might try to do that this weekend. I don't know. Sometimes, because this is my 11th consecutive convention, for 11 weekends. So there are times where I will stay up and try to watch Sword Art Online. And last weekend, I stayed up as late as I could, and I woke up and I was like, wait, that's my voice. What's happening?
You wake yourself up.
And I had a weird, when you're caught in between sleep and non-sleep, I was trying to watch the show, and I was this is my reality. It really screwed with me. I was I'm talking that sounds so much like me. It doesn't look like me. It was weird. And then I woke up in the morning, I was God, I had a weird dream. No, that was my life. that to me. She's like, look at your life, look at your choices. I'm like, okay.
All right, keep working our way down.
What was it like stepping into the role of Shauna since it had been played previously? How much of you yourself did you put into it, and then how much of what type of scene you made? How much of that did you try to keep it all, or did you want to put your own twist on it?
Well, it was super intimidating because I think it's similar, like when we do, just when we're taking on a dubbing project and we want to do justice and maintain the integrity of what the Japanese voice actors did, but the fact of the matter is we're not. We're different people. We have different experiences. And if we tried to just do exactly what they did, it would seem like a cheap imitation, a ripoff. So we have to take a little bit of what they did and the spirit of what they did, combine it with what we have as human beings to work on, and then create a character that hopefully is a blend of that with the cultural, I guess, changes and inflections and little bitty gems of cultural awareness for an American audience. So for that show, it was super intimidating because I had seen season 1 and I was a big fan of the show, and I actually had found it recently. I had found it very close to when we started auditioning, and I kept asking people, I was like, why is there no season 2? And everybody at Funimation would be like, well, we don't know. And that was, I didn't know that was their way of being like, well, we're gonna get it and we're gonna work on it. And they had contacted the original voice actors, and I think they said, you know, we can't make it down there, our schedules are busy, or, you know, we can't come up there. It was one of those things. So they did have me hear her stuff, and I would watch every day because there was so much pressure. Because I was like, the last thing I want is for people to say, like, not doing her justice, or, I mean, we are different. I'm not going to sound exactly like her. I can't. And if I do, it's not going to be Tabitha. It's just not. So I would listen to the Japanese before I would go record. I listened to Tabitha before I went and recorded, and I tried to say, like, what are the 2 things that these 2 have in common, or what are the things that these 2 have in common? What is something that I have in common with those things? And then what are the little sparks that are unique about all of us? What can we do? And then understanding the character, where she's coming from, her huge pendulum swing of being almost emotionless and all about the job, and like very, very, like, you know, this is the way things go, and then being superhuman and liking a guy and like freaking out about that and not knowing how to handle that. Yeah, and I mean, like, that was a really hard season for me to do, because in the first season and in the movie, she's like super intense and really badass, and she's like a fighter and she gets it, and like all of these emotion things are stupid and she doesn't get it. And in the second season, she like swings to the other side where she's emotional about everything. And then in the third season, it kind of balances out. So having to go through that journey, it was like I kind of felt like I had the training wheels on, and I was trying to find the character and try to figure it out. And so when we recorded the movie, we actually went back and recorded the first half of the movie again after we'd already recorded it, when we found the character, and he was like, okay, now you're solid in what's Tabitha, what's you, what's the Japanese, and you put them all together. So Ian was really great. When I was finding the character, there were a couple times where he would be like, do you like that? I was like, no, it's not tough enough, again. And he's like, I thought it was okay. I was like, it wasn't, all right? Again, okay? So that's what we have to do. So it was a very, very pressure-filled situation, because I loved the show. The last thing I wanted to do was for people to say that I screwed it up. And I love to talk with it. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a great team, and it was fantastic to be able to have the reference and see what she did, and have the challenge of trying to make it similar but different. So
Shauna was one of my all-time favorite series, and I was kind of like, when Funimation got it, I was absolutely thrilled.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just that there was going to be different voice actors. It was kind of, you know, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can watch it sub, but
absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We tried.